Albert Camus, French continental philosopher, existentialist, as well as journalist, writer, playwright, publicist, and essayist. The mind is powerless before the cry of the heart. One big love that has happened once in a lifetime justifies all those endless bouts of despair that a person is usually so prone to. In my youth, I demanded more from people than they could give: constancy in friendship, loyalty in feelings. Now I've learned to demand less from them than they can give, to be there and to be silent. And I always look at their feelings, at their friendship, at their noble deeds as a real miracle, as a gift from God. Wounds from love, unlike wounds from bullets, do not kill anyone, but they never heal either. The only worthwhile things are humanity and simplicity. Not being loved is just a failure. Not loving is a misfortune. Anxiety is just a slight aversion to the future. Time passes slowly when you follow it. It senses surveillance. But it takes advantage of our absent-mindedness. It's even possible that there are two times, the one we keep an eye on and the one that transforms us. Only the one who can afford not to lie is free. When religion is combined with politics, the Inquisition is born. Jealousy is more a condemnation of oneself. Knowing what you are capable of thinking, you decide that she is thinking the same thing. Bad human actions are accompanied by an abundance of moral justifications. It is amazing how vain a man is who wants to convince himself and others that he seeks the truth, while he asks only for love. There is nothing more despicable than respect based on fear. The human heart has an unfortunate tendency to call fate only what crushes it. There is nothing more despicable than respect based on fear. Life becomes a habit too quickly. You want to earn money to live happily, and as a result, all your strength, the whole color of life, goes to their extraction. Happiness is forgotten, the means is taken as the end. There are times when sudden sincerity is tantamount to an unforgivable loss of control over oneself. All people in life are given at least a little affection. It helps them live. And it is the caresses that await them when they feel that they are tired. Whoever gives nothing has nothing. The greatest misfortune is not that you are not loved, but that you do not love yourself. People stubbornly confuse marriage and love on the one hand, and happiness and love on the other. Meanwhile, these are completely different things. That is why, although love is a very rare thing, among marriages there are also happy ones. Men and women either too quickly devour each other in what is called an act of love, or they gradually form the habit of being together. There is often no middle ground between these two extremes. Usually, people need to get somewhere away from everyone before making an important decision and abruptly turning their lives. In order for thought to transform the world, it must first transform the life of its creator. It is easier to live with a bad reputation than with a good one, because it is difficult to observe a good reputation. You need to be on top all the time. After all, any breakdown is tantamount to a crime. With a bad reputation, breakdowns are forgivable. True generosity about the future is to give everything to the present. To rule is to steal, everyone knows that. Absurdity is born out of the collision of human reason and the reckless silence of the world. Absurdity is not in man or in the world, but in their joint presence. It's absurd that we're born, and it's absurd that we're dying. Those who write clearly have readers, those who write vaguely are commentators. Elementary truths are those that a person discovers last. Love should come first, followed by morality. The reverse is excruciating. Love is a disease of such a kind that it spares neither sages nor idiots. The sentence you threw to others will eventually fly back into your physiognomy and damage it. It is better to be a free poor man than a rich slave. Of course, people want to be both rich and free, and because of this, sometimes they become poor slaves. How many loving men do you know who would give up a beautiful and affordable woman? And if anyone refuses, it means that he lacks temperament. Traveling is like the greatest science and serious science that helps us find ourselves again. We are made to live side by side with others, but we die truly only for ourselves. Generosity toward the future is the ability to give away everything that is connected with the present. At the thought of all those pleasures that are completely inaccessible to you, you feel the same fatigue as at the thought of those that you have already experienced. Nothing is more inspiring than the awareness of one's hopeless situation. Each generation is convinced that it is it that is called upon to remake the world. Mine, however, already knows that he cannot remake this world. But his task, perhaps, is actually even more majestic. It is to prevent the world from perishing. Democracy is not the rule of the majority, but the protection of the minority. The thinker moves forward if he does not rush to conclusions, even if they seem obvious to him. With some people, we build relationships on the truth, with some on lies, and these latter are no less durable. There is not even the most deplorable event in which there would be no good sides. We rarely trust those who are better than us. Rather, we avoid their society. More often than not, we confess to those who look like us or share our flaws. After a certain age, each person is responsible for his or her face. The only thing that matters to me is to be human. To be created to create, to love, and to win is to be created to live in peace. But war teaches us to lose everything and become what we weren't.